Welcome back to another video. I hope you're all keeping safe and well. This is the first ever watch along on this channel. Absolutely delighted to bring on three special guests. Spurs fan Dave. Dave, how are you?
Yeah, fine. Thanks, Chris. Ask me, it's half
You looking forward to the game? Sorry?
I am and I'm not, if you know what I mean.
Melvyn, how are you doing?
I'm very good, Chris. I'm nervous and excited for the game at the same time.
Craig, what about you?
Yeah, pretty much the same. Bit nervous after seeing that back line. I wasn't expecting the centre back pairing, to be honest with you, but we'll see. Just got to go with it now, haven't we?
Absolutely. Marlon, you're absolutely right. This is the first ever watch along, so welcome to the show. Now, let's talk about, I know the game is minutes away. Let's talk about the lineup. Hugo Lloris in goal, in the back four of Javat Tanganga, Ben Davis, Davinson Sanchez and Eric Dyer. Pierre-Emile Højbjerg with Tanguy Ndombele. Eric Lamela keeps his place in the team. Lucas Moura, Heung-min Son and Harry Kane. Melvyn, let's start with you. What do you make of that team and the back four?
It's good. I think Matt Doherty has had a very, very bad season. I think out of the signings, I think he's been probably the worst one. Gareth Bale's not really shown us anything this season, but, you know, I've been really disappointed with Doherty because, you know, he's not even better than Sergio Aurier. I think he's even worse. Sometimes when he's playing, I think is this guy playing against Spurs, you know, knowing that he's an Arsenal fan, and it seems that sometimes he's doing things on purpose. I don't know, but it's so to see Tanganga back in, you know, he was very, very positive last season and probably very something I was excited about. And you know, because of injuries, he's not really had a really run of games, but it's good to see him back in, and you know, substitutions like that, and it's what makes, you know, a great coach. And it worked last season when he played against Liverpool, and hopefully it works today. With the rest of the lineup, I think Lamela and Lucas will just offer, you know, pace, and they'll work their socks off for 80, 90 minutes, and you know, let's hope it works.
Now, Craig, Kev Williams now writes on the screen 4-0 Spurs. It's probably the toughest game on paper, isn't it? Manchester City away, they're running away with it at the top of the Premier League right now.
It is. I think Kev's been on the sauce since lunchtime by the sound of it. But you know, never know, do you? Never know. Yeah, it's going to be a tough game today. They're easily by far the best team in the country, and seeing Liverpool today, you know, we think we've fallen in recent times. Imagine being a Liverpool fan. So you know, we're not the only ones, but we can get back to it today. We've got to give it a go. Might nick a draw. I still, you know, might sound pessimistic. I still think we might lose, but as we approach kickoff, I'm more confident we might nick a draw, and anything else is gravy, as Tiger Woods says. So come on, you Spurs.
It's funny, Craig, isn't it? All of us Tottenham fans, we all think, you know, we all dread the worst at the start of the week. Then as the closer you get to the game, you think, oh, we can nick a draw here. And then the morning, or just, you know, 5-10 minutes before the game starts, you're thinking, we can win this.
Yeah, you do. It's the life of a football fan, and it's certainly the life of a Tottenham fan. It's 11v11, and at the end of the day, as my old manager used to say, it's 11v11, and you know, got to give it a go. I think Reguilon's a massive miss for us, to be honest with you. You know,
I agree with that.
Davis just can't do what he does. So, pleased to see Tanganga in there. I think that, you know, that first game he played for us, you could see what a player he could be. I just hope he gets a good run in the side now.
Dave, comment on screen now. Heart says 3-2 to Tottenham. Head says 4-1 to Man City. What are you thinking? Dave?
He frozen?
He's frozen. Melvyn, you going to take that question?
I'll give you my prediction. I think my heart says we'll win 2-0, and my head says it'll be a draw.
Craig, what score prediction are you going with?
Well, head and heart then. All right. Head says 2-1 City. Heart says 2-1 Spurs. So let's go with that.
Matthew, I'm also feeling very nervous for this game, but I'm hoping that we're going to nick a draw. I think a draw you know, at the Etihad, when they have won 15 out of their last 15 games, unbeaten in their last 22. You'd have to go back 2 months before they dropped points, and that was at home to West Bromwich Albion.
Yeah,
incredible record.
Yeah, it is, and it's going to be tough. We all knew it was going to be tough. But you know, if we can get off to a fast start, I just wonder if he's going to try and nick a go early doors and not sit in. We know we're going to sit in, don't we?
Yeah.
But you know, there's going to be a lot of defending to do today, and I think that's why Moore's in the team. He's been playing pretty well. Lamella has been playing pretty well. It's fairly good to see them in, to be honest with you, because you know they're going to work. You're not going to get that with Bale. I do hope Bale and Ali come on though. But I think it depends on how the game's going. If I'm honest, you know, if we are leading 1-0, he's 80 minutes gone. I don't think he's going to be bringing them on. But you know, let's see. Just about to get going now by the looks of it.
It is. Dave,
I think
Dave,
Sorry.
Jack writes on the screen, opinions of Jose Mourinho. Do you want to take that one?
Dave might be frozen again.
Melvyn, I know you're a big Jose fan.
In times, yes. In times, no. But yeah.
I didn't say that actually because my
Oh, he's back.
my sound's gone a bit right.
Bit like the Tottenham defence, Dave.
Well, I'm not a big Jose fan. I'm not a favourite.
Right, we kicked off.
Yeah, Foden's the one. I'll tell you, he's such a good player, Foden.
If we're gonna do a low block, we need to commit to that low block and not do like you know.
At the moment, and he's trying that new form. Yeah, he's trying that new formation, but it's a bit like this. Yeah, it's
Melvyn, did you hear Dave okay?
No,
Yeah,
don't.
No.
This new setup is
Used to be Grandpa Dave, now it's delayed Dave.
yeah.
Yeah.
So how many shots on target do you think we're going to get today?
I think about 6 or 7, but we've got to make them count.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter unless we win.
Is everybody's clock on the screen? I'm just going to count just to see if we're in sync. It's like 1 minute 42, 43, 44. 45.
No,
You're about
30.
20 seconds ahead of me.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
I'll know if we score before you then.
That's it.
You're about 10 seconds ahead of me.
Oh, really? I can pause mine and then so we're all in sync if you want. Would that be easier?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Because Foden's just about to take.
Foden getting in, yeah. So easy.
He's just taken a corner. He's just taken a corner and the ball's... Oh, right. They've just gone over.
I'm at 2 minutes now.
Right,
So-
let me pause mine just so... Do you want to tell me...
There.
Tell me when you get to 2 minutes 30, Melvyn, and I'll restart mine at 2:30. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris, what are you on?
I'm on 2:15 at the moment. I'll tell you what, playing the ball in
25,
behind
26,
three Spurs players, Foden
27, 28, 29, 30.
Got to stop that so early on.
Yeah, I'm 2:35, 36, 37.
Yeah, we're in sync.
Are you a bit behind, Chris? Are you a bit behind us?
I'm on 2:38 now.
All right.
Yeah.
Melvyn, can you pause your telly?
No, I cannot.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, me and Melvyn are a little bit ahead of you, Chris.
I won't react. I won't say anything.
It started how we thought it was going to start, to be honest. I think, City with a lot of the possession. Sitting back in there.
This is what worked in the previous games. So
yeah,
if we can close the half spaces and not let them, have anything dangerous, them having 80% possession and doing nothing with it.
It makes a huge difference, though, doesn't it, with the crowds not being there?
It does. It does. Because the City crowd, if they haven't scored after half hour, and that could have a negative effect on City. I've found that in the past up there. They do get a little bit tetchy, don't they?
Yeah.
Keep it.
I tell you, I'll never ever forget that night.
Put him in. Put him in. Put him in. Oh, unlucky. Well done.
You offered me a ticket for that match, Chris.
For the 4-3. I think last minute someone couldn't go, which was surprising because what a game that was. What a night it was. I remember the fans bowling out the stadium when Sterling put the ball in the net, and then of course they all come running back in. It was a mixture of emotions. Typical, Tottenham glory night. Fantastic. It really, really was.
My problem was that.
Come on.
Away. Okay, good.
Oh, well done.
He did again behind Davis.
Yeah, that's going to be dangerous. My problem that night was that I was going to arrive about 90 minutes before kickoff, and someone told me that in the traffic you wouldn't make it to the stadium in time.
Yeah.
Because I had to fly from Malta to Manchester.
Yeah. What's it like supporting Spurs over in Malta, Melvyn?
It's good. There's quite a big fan base here. There's the Malta Supporters Club, and
where are you, Melvyn? Valletta?
No. I'm in Gozo. I live in Gozo, the smaller island of the two.
Oh right, okay.
He's always sending wonderful photos of Malta. Absolutely amazing. Dave, you back? Dave's frozen again. Dave, hello.
Dave is going to tell us the game just kicked off.
The 1991 FA Cup finals just kicked off for Dave. He's going to say the Gascoigne's just been injured.
I expected this, so he looks like he's just going to commit to the block.
Yeah.
You can see already a lot of the players down the right. Foden is getting a lot of the ball. Ben Davis under pressure, and Heung-min Son is having to track back every single time.
Seems like Foden's got a lot of space there.
Yes, Tanganga.
I don't know if you can hear me, but there's just loads of practice.
Go on, put Sonny in. Oh. Go on, Harry. Go on, Harry.
Just keep talking.
There's so many players in that City team that can hurt you, though. You stop one, you got to stop about six others.
That's the thing, Craig, and to think as well that Sergio Aguero, has been out for the last 11 games, and now he's sitting on the bench. It's just the quality that they have in that squad is just unbelievable.
Yeah, he loves the goal against us as well.
Come on, Lucas. Come on. Give us something.
Sorry.
Come on. Stop the shot.
So much space. Come on.
Of conversation.
Dave's having some serious issues with his IT, isn't
he? He is. We did a test earlier as well with Dave, and it all went well. But yeah.
Stop the shot.
We're going to concede. If it keeps going like this, we're going to concede.
I'll tell you what, they did well there, Sanchez and Dyer.
That's a foul.
Two good blocks. That's what you want from the defence. It's the closing down, though. You got to close down early.
I don't know how
they've had. It's only just under 8 minutes gone.
Sanchez just needs to have one of those games like he had against us in the World Cup.
Yeah, two good blocks, Dyer and Sanchez. Done well there. Craig, what do you make of Tanganga coming back in into the team today?
Yeah, no, always rated him since I first saw him. I'm still surprised Jose don't see him as a centre half, because it's essentially what he said he was, wasn't it? But I think he's paced down the wing there. Oh, what Tanguy's just coming forward. I really like Tanganga.
Yeah.
Come on, Tanguy.
No.
Come on.
Oh, wouldn't mind seeing Tanganga and Roden centre-back partnership in a game going forward,
That was such a good run, and nothing happened with it.
Exactly.
No.
I don't know whether you saw, Melvyn. Eric Lamela had so much space in the middle if he'd have just passed it across.
They're for the taking on the break, but just needs to be a quality run, quality pass. Needs to be inch perfect, or it's nothing.
Not sure about Ederson's kit, I don't think I could pull that off. I was him.
Melvyn, what do you make of Eric Lamela? Because, of course, he's now been at the club for 8 years, 3 consecutive starts now.
Well, he gives you work rate. That's all I can say. He gives you 100% the entire game, but it's just he's not been able to maintain the level of fitness for 6-7 months. He's in and out of the team because he does pop up with important goals. That year we made it to the Champions League final in the early stages of the league. He scored against Wolves, I believe. He scored against West Ham.
Yeah.
And he was finding his place in the team, but then he got injured and we didn't see him again.
Yeah.
Anybody know the answer to that question on the screen? The regular one? I think Jose said he could be back for Thursday's game, didn't he?
Absolutely, Craig. Yeah, and I'll tell you what, we've really missed him because his attacking play is absolutely exceptional, and someone I've been very, very impressed with.
Yeah, definitely.
He's probably one of the best signings we've made.
Yeah,
I know Højbjerg gets massive praise, but for me, he offers so much going forward, and he's like Kyle Walker and Danny Rose. He's par with them. He probably has Kyle Walker's speed, and he's got a good delivery on him.
Yeah,
and it's one of my favorite signings we've made. I hope he doesn't go back to Madrid.
Yeah, superb signing. Dave, are you back?
He looks really worried, doesn't he? Reguilon's got to want to go back to Madrid, hasn't he? If they recall him in the summer, I mean, he's got to want to go, hasn't he? They can't just take him.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, and it would be a huge loss if he did go back, because every single Tottenham fan, they absolutely love him. We all love him. He's a fantastic player. When you think of someone like Reguilon against someone like Ben Davies, if you compare the two, it's like chalk and cheese. They're completely different.
Yeah. Oh, Sanchez done well.
There's just so much pressure at the moment.
Ben Davies will always be second choice.
Yeah, he's a good squad member to have, though. Apparently he's very popular amongst the lads, and you shouldn't forget that. That's a foul.
That's a yellow. Yeah. Give him. No, it's not, but
leave his ankles alone, you.
Interestingly, Harry Kane loves to have free kicks from outside the box, and I can't even remember the last one that he scored. I remember
once, and it was deflected.
Aston Villa. That's what sort of kick-started his career at Tottenham. But when you look at the past season or so, the amount of free kicks that he's had, and now saying that, I hope he bangs this one in if he takes it.
I think Lamela's looking to take this.
He won't. He will never score a free kick, and that's the only bad thing I can say about Harry Kane. I cannot say anything else, but he will never score a free kick.
Have you just said that because you're ahead of me and you've seen it?
No.
No, me and Melvyn are on exactly the same time. So if we react, it's gone in. Oh my God!
Come on.
Just hit the post.
Oh!
The
corner.
That was unlucky. That was one of the best ones he's taken. So unlucky.
Oh, God, right in the corner. Edison was beaten.
I nearly had to eat my own
Fantastic.
words. I nearly had to eat my own words.
So, what's this question? Do we think we'll win the Carabao Cup?
Against these opponents as well.
Yeah, against these. It's possible. You never know. I think the pressure will be more on them than us, to be honest.
I think what's his name? Pep will overthink it. He'll try to change something, and
13 very long years without a trophy though, Melvyn.
Yeah.
I don't know. We have probably the best manager to have in a cup final.
Yeah, true.
I don't like seeing that, players laying
This is what I
behind the
mean.
wall. It looks a bit stupid.
City will have lots of possession but do nothing with it, and a couple of chances like that could have easily went in, and will be 1-0 up.
They're just showing Harry Kane's record there: 209 goals behind Jimmy Greaves, 266. He's got to beat that record, hasn't he?
Oh God, yeah. He could even do it by next season. I think he'll want to do it. We talk about him leaving. I think he'll want to do it.
Part of me wishes it takes him longer to break that record so he doesn't leave, because I think once he breaks that record, he'll leave. Unless we're winning trophies by then. Unless we're a winning club where we win trophies. We have 1 or 2 under our belt. He'll want to leave.
I think our forward line is almost up there with the best, isn't it? And then as you go backwards through the team, it just gets gradually more sketchy, doesn't it? It's definitely got to build on that defence in the summer. Clearly, we're not good enough.
No one was saying that though, Craig, when we were top of the league.
No, I think because I think teams just worked out how to play against us, though. That low block. I just think teams worked us out. I think it's a combination of a lot of things. Teams worked out how to play us. We didn't have a plan B when things went tits up.
Yeah.
That tactic only works when you have a solid defense and you only need 1 goal to win a match. And with Kane and Son, you'll always find that 1 goal. And also, I think what was missing is that we didn't have Dele Alli chipping in with goals, and we're still missing Christian Eriksen, who always chipped in with goals. What's his name? Ndombele has 3 goals, and that's our third highest goal scorer in the Premier League. So Son and Kane, when they're quiet, someone needs to pop up with the goals, and Ali and Bale haven't been doing it, and Ndombele hasn't done it enough.
You think Carlos Vinicius hasn't been given that much game time, has he? Don't you think Jose trusts him? Do you think that we'll be signing him for next season?
I don't think we'll sign him.
No, I don't actually. I don't think we'll sign him. Go on, Mora.
Come on. Got to run at him.
Oh, Harry.
Come on, it's a good build-up.
What do you think is going on with Bale, Chris? What do you make of all that?
I think it's a very, very odd situation. I really do. Of course, all of us absolutely loved him coming back. Hasn't had much game time whatsoever. Gave the indication on Instagram that he was going to be fit against Everton. Jose Mourinho said that he wasn't fit against Everton and he needed a scan. Very, very odd. Very odd situation.
I think he's lost his hunger for football. When you've won 4 Champions Leagues, or is it 3 Champions Leagues, and what else is there to win?
If you're not going to do it at a club where it all started and you become a superstar at, if you're not going to do it at that club, then I worry about his future. But when you think back, he wanted to go to China and play in China. Why would he want to do that? Just
You know how David Bentley, you know how David Bentley fell out of love from football and he retired quite soon. It's probably the same thing. You know, he's got money for the rest of his life. The only thing that keeps him maybe a bit interested is representing his country, and coming back to Tottenham was, you know, leaving Madrid and you know, changing scenery. I think he tried to reignite his career, but his body didn't let him.
Yeah. It's a very good question on screen now. Do you think Harry Kane or Heung-min Son will leave in the summer if we don't get trophies or top four? I ask that question all the time, and that's something that worries me a lot. What do you guys think?
I don't think, certainly for Son, if take it in two parts, I think his contract's already signed. And they just haven't. Yeah, Spurs released that new Korean Twitter, didn't they? They made a big deal out of that, or the Korean brand thing. I can't remember quite what it was. I think that's signed or almost signed in deal agreed in principle. With Harry, no, I don't think Harry will be going anywhere in the summer either. I don't think either of them will be going anywhere, to be honest. There's too much money to be made out of Son as a brand, I think, as well. I think they realise that.
Come on.
No one really makes any runs, does he?
Do you know what? I think listening to the last word on Spurs, he was on Chris. I kind of oh no, it was on your channel, wasn't it? The Irish Hotspur said he still thinks we'll make top four. It's certainly there, isn't it? Still, I mean, the team's dropping points all around. You know,
it's a crazy season. You look at that result earlier. You know, Liverpool 1-0 up and then losing to Leicester 3-1. I know Leicester are a very good team, but Liverpool are champions. They're just falling apart recently. And you know, some teams are just picking up weird points. You know, some of these games you just would not predict the scores.
No, even Burnley beating Palace. You know, started to get a few results, haven't they?
Yeah.
What?
Is he not giving a penalty here? Is he?
No, he's giving a penalty.
Oh, for God's sake!
Oh, really? Oh, I don't know about that.
No, come on, surely not.
Pierre-Emile Højbjerg again, and I tell you what, the other night it was a ridiculous one, and this is a ridiculous one as well. Oh, come on.
Yeah. He did take his legs there. Shame Aguero ain't on to take this really, because he's Hugo saved a couple of Agueros, isn't he?
There's contact. There's contact in the box. It's obviously a penalty. It's so soft.
Just as right, Nigel Wright's a much more organised performance and set up than against Everton. Well, I completely agree with that, but
yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, but you can't legislate against stupid errors like that. I understand. Unfortunately, Højbjerg's gone in there.
They're talking about Ederson taking the
yeah.
They have problems with penalty kicks. Come on! You've saved these before.
We're going to know about the result of this, Chris, before you.
Watch him take it. Watch him take it straight down the middle.
I've never seen him take one, to be honest. So.
Hugo needs to step up now. Come on, Hugo.
Watch him take it straight down the middle and go for power.
Come on.
Oh, he got a glove to it and it went in.
God, I wouldn't say should have saved it, but
he'd be disappointed with that.
It went through his arms.
It kind of just bobbled just before, didn't it? Oh, that's unlucky.
Hugo got so much on it. I tell you what, as a goalkeeper, you'd feel so disappointed getting that hand and not saving it. Yeah. He looks disappointed, very disappointed.
Was that a penalty if he blocked the ball?
I think did he get something on the ball before he took his... No, he didn't touch it. I can see why it was given. I can see why it was given.
No, he didn't block the ball. He didn't. I thought he did.
Yeah, it looked like it, didn't it? From the first angle, the second angle, it was from behind. It was... There was contact.
Do you know, I feel for Pierre-Emile Højbjerg because all season he has been an absolute rock, probably the Premier League, signing of the summer of the season. And, Everton game gave away a penalty today, giving away a penalty. It's just,
yeah.
We a lot of the time Spurs fans are talking about the back four or the back five, but you need your midfield to step up in important games like this as well.
There's a little bit of more attacking intent though than previous games where we've sat in. So, it's always going to be difficult against City.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, they're a fantastic team.
Go on, Tanganga. Great run.
But the low block works, with 12.
That's a card. That's got to be a yellow card for Zinchenko there. Was it Rodri?
So, Chris is drunk again. Signing of the summer season lull. I don't think that's a bad thing to say. I think Pierre-Emile Højbjerg has been absolutely exceptional this season for us.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I think when you work out the price as well, we got him for essentially $3 million when we sent Kyle Walker-Peters the other way. I mean, I know he's been having a good season at Southampton, but give me a choice of the two, it'd be the Dustman every time.
It's okay now.
Yes, he has got a very good performance so far. Tanganga, little burst of pace through there.
Man City just defends very well, doesn't it?
Christ.
Lamela going in so hard.
I don't think he's going to book him, though. He won the ball. He did win the ball.
Yeah, he did win the ball.
Goes to feet so quickly, though, doesn't he, Lamela? A lot.
Tanganga has been so unlucky
I don't see him have a lot of red cards, to be honest.
Yeah. Tanganga has been so unlucky because he played so well last season, and I thought this could be a season to really, keep his position. And Aurier and Matt Doherty have been so inconsistent this season that
it's been real letdown for me. I mean, I didn't know much about him before, but I don't know what I was expecting. But I was expecting a bit more than he's shown, to be honest.
Yeah, but he played in a back five all season, and now he's asked to be played in a back four, and it's not quite the same, is it?
No, but he
was a wing back.
When he played a three, he has played as a wing back, and he's not looked any better, I don't think, in the games he's played wing back in.
You think him contracting COVID back in September?
Yeah.
This is what worries me about,
we're not going to get anything out of this game.
Of how much the opposition have the ball. I know we're playing a very, very good opposition here, a very good side of Manchester City, but there are some very poor teams that we've let them have so much possession, and I'm just not sure on how much the fans are going to like that when we're back inside the grounds.
No, but I think that will almost push us up the pitch anyway, because the players will be able to hear that. Subconsciously will make you. The players will know, won't they? The players will know what the fans are booing at.
Yeah.
Well done again. Well done again. Who's done some of the threats in the Europa League, Chris, that have dropped out from the Champions League? Do you think? Well, I can't remember actually dropped back down.
It's funny because Jose don't ever seem to worry about any team in the Europa League, and I know the best thing to do as all of us Tottenham fans is just take each round as it comes. But when you're thinking that we're playing, Austrian side Wolfsberger, we should be cruising past that. But yeah. I would actually more worry about the English sides, further on in the competition rather than anyone else.
Yeah, absolutely. I would, in fact, I would I'd have rather played Barcelona than Liverpool in that Champions League final, to be honest. As good as a game that was to watch at Anfield.
Yeah.
I was hoping Barcelona would get through because I thought we had a better chance against them than Liverpool because Liverpool just know us, don't they?
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Because I thought about that too.
Yeah.
We need to do something here, or we're not going to win, or even get anything out of this game.
I think we need to try and nick a goal before half time, certainly.
What was frustrating at the Everton game was Vinicius, every time someone fed him the ball to his feet, it looked like he was going to do something with it, like he was controlling it, and he has the strength to hold it off. And I kept thinking, why don't they do that more often? Feed him the ball. He's strong enough.
Yeah.
And it just, even he can even play, I think. Why doesn't he try playing Son, Kane, and Vinicius all together as a front three?
I don't think we ever see that.
No. I think if we went 4-4-2 or the old 4-4-2 or similar, I think you'd have to go 2 up front and put Sonny wide.
Well, we've lost Dave. Observation of the world says I still miss Mauricio Pochettino as our manager. Melvyn, you've had a hug from our former manager, haven't you?
Yeah. I have my own little shrine to Mauricio Pochettino with his book that's signed, and I have a signed photo.
Oh, so, okay.
There's so much space though for Silva there. Great block from Sanchez, but so much space.
Right, come on, that's good. You've got options here.
There's no space.
Come on,
Lamella,
they're not leaving any space behind.
No, Lamella ran in, made the totally wrong run there. You know what? Tanner's quite deep, isn't he? He's playing obviously alongside Højbjerg. I'd like to see him a bit further up the pitch.
Yeah, Adam writes here, Son seems to go missing quite often these days.
I think he did when Kane wasn't playing, certainly. I don't think the same could be said as the other night against Everton. I think he had a massive impact. I mean, as a striker, you score 4 goals, you expect to win the game. So I know they say you defend as a team, but, you score 4 goals, you think, hang on, I've done my job. And you're looking at your defence, you're saying, what's going on?
Craig, Anthony writes here, we won't even reach top 6, let alone top 4. Now, I said at the start of the show, if we win today, we'd only go 1 point short of Liverpool, who are of course 4th. But if we don't win today or get any form of result, no points. And of course, we've got West Ham next. Yeah, that West Ham game is huge. And West Ham are playing some good football. They're getting some really good results. They're above us in the league. It's going to be worrying times, isn't it?
It is. And I think we've got to try and get something out of this game, certainly. Wouldn't say it was a free hit because, as I said before, that's usually a phrase you'd associate with teams in the bottom 6. But, it is going to be worrying times. But there's a lot of teams around us that are going to be thinking the same, even Liverpool. You've gone for a bit. Wonder what odds you'd have got on Liverpool not getting a European place this season. So there is plenty of time, and we've played a lot of the so-called bigger teams, certainly away from home, haven't we? So there's still quite a few games and a lot of points to get. So I don't think it's panic stations yet, but I think if we can get a draw here today at least, then that's going to help us a long way.
The problem is, at some point, if we're not close to the top 4 or within a couple of points, Jose will probably give up on getting top 4 and focus everything on the Europa League like he did with Manchester United. But at what point you sort of say, I don't know, do you really give up on securing top 4? Because I agree with that comment. It's looking very, very likely like we won't get top
It's a
four.
bold requirement, though, Melvyn.
Sorry?
It's a bold requirement that you've got to finish top four. Pochettino's done it every season.
Yeah, but Pochettino had a better team. You know, he had better players, or players at a younger stage in their career. You know, we don't have Moussa Dembele, we don't have Christian Eriksen, we don't have Dele Alli. You know, the old Dele Alli. You know, the game is such fine margins that these things. You know, we had Vertonghen and Toby Alderweireld at their best. We had Kyle Walker and Danny Rose. You know, you cannot replace these players overnight. We even had Victor Wanyama in the middle, who was, you know, very, very solid. The team, we have good individual players who can't play together as a team. Sometimes it seems.
I think you're right about the back four. That back four, 2016, 2017, that, you know, Kyle Walker, Danny Rose, and the two Belgians in the middle there. I mean, you wouldn't have had anybody else in the Premiership. I wouldn't have done in the back four, would you? And I think that's the question you got to ask yourself: who out of the back four would you have from other teams? You know, if you asked me the same question like in 2016, I wouldn't have had anybody. It would have been them four all day long.
I've got a laugh here at Adam's comment. Lucas is a bit like Ronnie Rosenthal. Melvyn, are you too young to remember Ronnie Rosenthal?
I've no idea what that is.
What do you reckon?
I'd have rather had Jim Rosenthal playing than Ronnie Rosenthal. But no, he did have that one good game against Southampton, didn't he, when he got the hat-trick? I mean, I think he was a surprise with everybody watching and that he scored.
Unbelievable.
But
6-2.
yeah, that was incredible game. That was incredible. But then, who was manager back then? Because they put him in the starting lineup for the next 2 or 3 games, and he was atrocious, wasn't he? Can't remember.
I think that was 94-95 season, and Jerry France took over in November from Ozzy Ardiles. Yeah.
God,
that was a great season. That was Jurgen Klinsmann, Teddy Sheringham, fantastic.
Yeah,
great attacking football, but we just conceded goal after goal after goal.
Is that going to be a penalty kick?
No. Wasn't that Dean Austin sort of time and Justin Edinburgh and that lad from did we sell him or buy him from Norwich or something? His name was Doherty, wasn't he?
Oh yeah,
Gary Doherty.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a little bit after that.
Kane doesn't look sharp enough.
They're having so much of the ball, Melvyn, aren't they?
Got to shut the shop down there.
The thing which I keep struggling with this season is that we don't seem to have any strength in midfield. Like Ndombele and Højbjerg don't seem to hold the opposition. They just walk through them like nothing. Remember when we had Victor Wanyama and Moussa Dembele in the middle, and teams found it so hard to go through us. Yeah. And even when Eric Dyer was playing as well, when we had those three, we had such a spine in the team that
it almost picked itself, didn't it?
The team doesn't have a spine. It doesn't. You know, you miss out.
Oh, Lamella.
He knew that.
How many times did he do that? How many times did he do that?
Lamella, another free kick, exactly. Just outside our box. Jose's fuming.
What's annoying is that every single game I look at the lineup and I say, oh, that's probably the best team that he could have chosen. And then the game will start. We'll go 1-0 down and I'll look at the bench to see who he can bring on to change the game. And there's no one, really.
Well, this is where you need to be looking at Dele Alli and Gareth Bale, Melvyn. And when Gareth Bale has played the minutes that he has, or lack of minutes, and then Dele Alli, of course, has been frozen out, and now he's come back in. You're not going to get one of these coming off the bench and feeling it, and that's what's a shame, because these types of players should be able to come off the bench and change the game. But I don't feel like that at the moment either.
My issue with Jose this season has been what he did to Dele Alli. We had to go through a January transfer window with him asking to leave to PSG, and why didn't he play him earlier in the season when we didn't really need him, when we were winning and we were in the top of the league? And then when we really needed him, he'll have match fitness, match sharpness. He wouldn't be low on confidence. And now,
well done, Ben Davies.
I'm trying to read that comment. And now when we need him and he's low on confidence, what do you think Dele's going to do? He's not going to do anything. He's not going to produce nothing. You know what I mean? He's low on confidence, and the team is playing low on confidence. And now we're going to blame it on Dele because when he comes in, he misplaces a pass. You should have played him when we didn't need him. So when we do need him, he's fit and he's got maybe 1 or 2 goals under his belt and a couple of assists. But now it's too late.
Somebody asked, would we take Conte in the summer? I think before that question, I personally wouldn't be that really excited about having Conte as manager.
Well, someone also wrote that I didn't put on there. I'd take Mick McCarthy. Must be a joke, surely.
Big old Mick.
Did you read the comment? Did you read the comment, Chris?
This one, I left it for you. Tom Kane. You're trying to say, Melvyn, that we have a worse team now than we did when we had Pochettino.
Yeah, we do. We certainly do. The defense is worse. We don't have Eriksen. We don't have Moussa Dembele. Ali is not the same Dele Alli. And
oh, come on.
We had Danny Rose, we had Kyle Walker. Even Trippier can get in this team.
Come on.
Missing Trippier's crossing ability, I think.
This team is not the same. This team is not better than the squad we had under Poch.
And that makes the fact he never won a trophy even more sad.
Yeah. Yeah, Donk writes here, I hope Harry Kane gives us one more season to break Greaves' record before moving on to win things. He deserves to win things. I've said this time and time again. I cannot believe, and I said it to you the other day, Craig, that when you think of Pochettino leaving, Eriksen, Jan Vertonghen, Moussa Dembele, the list is endless of players coming to have good careers at Spurs. And of course, the current players, Hugo Lloris, not won a trophy at Spurs. Harry Kane, Heung-min Son, Dele Alli.
Yeah, that's right. And, I still maintain we sold Moussa Dembele 6 months too early. I think if we kept hold of him, we'd have... Oh, no, come on, stop it. Oh, great block. I think we should have held on to him.
What a block.
I think we should have, if we'd held on to him, dare I say, we might have even won that Champions League final. It's crying out for somebody like Moussa Dembele.
Great block again by Sanchez, and then Jesus hits it over the bar. More chances for Man City. Another let off for Spurs.
Did that clip the bar as well, I think? Sanchez done well there, to be fair.
Yeah, great defending.
Yeah, clip the bar. I think Eric Dyer could be our centre-back in the Euros, though. That's the thing for England. So, unless John Stones, of course, gets back into the fray, so to speak. But at the moment, it could be Harry Maguire and Eric Dyer centre-back for England.
He'll get chosen. He'll be in the squad. I don't know if he'll start, but...
Yeah.
Tanganga looked pretty good. He's looked bright. He wants to get forward.
He's always done well though, Melvyn, hasn't he, when he's come in?
Yeah, he's been so unlucky with injuries this season. No, he needs to play 4-4-2.
And when Dyer was centre midfield, like CDM, effectively with Dele Alli in front of him, I mean that was a good partnership, wasn't it? For a while.
Do you know what, Craig? I've never really rated Eric Dyer, even as a midfielder. And now for him to be a centre back, I know, a lot of people might be disappointed with me saying that, but I've never really rated him as a player.
I've rated him more as a defensive midfielder than a centre back, to be honest.
I think he's been unlucky in his career. When he was playing his best football, he got ill, and he was practically out for a whole season. And it took him another season to get match fit and really going again. But under Pochettino, there was that one season where he was playing him as a defensive midfielder, and I think he had his best season then. He was even chipping in with goals and assists.
Yeah. And
his work rate was excellent, and he was a really good player, and he's been unlucky.
Has Dave left us completely now, Chris?
I think he has. I think he's given up. I think he's had lots of buzzing.
Problem is, every time we get the ball, there's no options. There's no one to pass to because no one makes any runs off the ball.
That's right. You saw Heung-min Son there with his back to goal in our half, and the only option he had was to pass it back to Davinson Sanchez. No one showing for him.
No. That's the ball. That's a good ball. That's a good ball. That isn't a good ball. They're going to be working hard. They're going to be working hard all game, and because you've got to make the most of every chance we get. Unfortunately, in this game, and you can't think, "Oh, another one's going to come along in a minute."
Another chance over the bar.
He's a good player,
What substitution would you do? Because there needs to be a sub.
I don't know. I'm not sure there's anything that. It's so sad that previously I'd say you got to bring on somebody like Gareth Bale, but even the cutaway to him halfway through this half, he just didn't look interested at all. Yeah, he's there again.
We need someone who can retain the ball, who can pass it, who can shield it. We lose the ball within 10 seconds, not even. Within 5 seconds, we lose the ball.
Another foul by Højbjerg, yeah.
For me, Bergwijn is the only player who can really retain the ball, and maybe Dele Alli.
Going back to your point, Craig, I think that the last time Gareth Bale started a game, I think the fastest he actually moved is when he was running off to be subbed.
Yeah, that was
really disappointing to see.
Yeah, just want to get hold of him and shake him, didn't you? And say, Christ, you've got a couple of more years and that's it. Then you can go and play golf and do what you want.
He's already won everything to be won.
Yeah, but if he just given up on football and run his contract down, I can't understand why you would come back to Tottenham, because you could just sit in Madrid, couldn't you, and sit on the bench? Well, better weather if that's all you want. Sorry,
I think Levy wanted Bale back for the shared sales.
Oh, yeah, I'd be interested to know how much money we've made on his shirt sales since he come back. That's for sure. It's probably covered his loan fee.
Because I bet you about 90% of Tottenham fans bought a Bale shirt or know someone who has.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I bought one literally the next day.
Yeah, we bought one from our household. They had 45, 50 quid from us.
What's going on with Chris?
I don't know. He's gone sideways. Oh, there we go.
Right, so it's half time, 1-0. How are we going to get back into this?
We won't. If it was still at 0-0, I think we could have gotten something out of the game, but it's the same old mistakes, stupid mistakes. Penalties, set pieces, defensive errors, the same old story.
Yeah, it's it's sad to give away another penalty. That's giving them a goal, essentially, isn't it? It's giving them a goal. It's just
They
silly
wouldn't.
individual mistake.
They wouldn't have scored.
Craig, do you want to take that question? Most fans knocking Jose, but let's not forget half of this team isn't his. 2 players. Did he have arguably 2 of the best players this season, Reguilon and Højbjerg?
Yeah, I mean, I certainly haven't been knocking Jose. You couldn't knock him for the Everton game. That was on the players. I think he needs one more transfer window if we're going to keep him. You know, it sounds like we're going to keep him. I don't think. Well, let's hope we press on and get something out of this season. But no, it's not. But you know, you got to remember we've had 10, 11 players through the door since he came in, haven't we? So, you know, I'm not convinced that it's not his team still. You know, we've almost bought a whole team since he's been here. The Jed Fernandez one was a bit weird, if you ask me. I never really saw him as our saviour. I know people said compared him to Ronaldo. I don't know what Ronaldo, but it certainly wasn't either the ones I know.
Jedson Fernandez. I've never heard that one. Ronaldo.
Yeah. He was compared by the Portuguese press, I think it was, to the next Cristiano Ronaldo. That's what he was compared to. Seriously.
The Portuguese press does that to everyone, though.
We bought the wrong Fernandez. That was the true fact. We got bargain bucket Fernandez, where Manchester United got the premium.
Yeah.
I think we're still playing mostly with the players that we bought under Pochettino, because if you look at this lineup today, who's other than I think Højbjerg, who else is there that Jose has bought? No one. I think, you know, Lloris has been here for ages. The lineup's been here since Pochettino. We're not really. It's not really a Jose team yet, and I don't see it being, because with the whole COVID situation, the club isn't going to invest massively, are they? They're not. They'll buy maybe.
Most of the players, Melvyn, that Jose's brought in are on the bench. You've got Joe Hart, you've got Matt Doherty, you've got Gareth Bale, you've got Steven Bergwijn and Carlos Vinicius.
Is Roden on the bench, Chris? I didn't see the bench, to be honest. No. Do you know what's frustrating is for me, and people are going to think I'm mad saying this, but if we want to really do things and get somewhere, you want to see us going for players like here. This is going to sound mad, but we've got to be going for players like Kylian Mbappe, people like that. You know, why can't we? Why can't we go for players like that? I find myself laughing at me saying it, but that's where we need. Now Bezos has left Amazon. I think Daniel Levy needs to give him a call and say, look, come on, buy the club. We'll sell out the ENIC and get Jeff Bezos to pump some money in. That's my solution.
Well, Gary writes here, Gareth Bale and Dele Alli on at half-time for Mora and Lamela. Same old mistakes.
Well, yeah,
I agree. I agree with
Dele
Alli. I agree with Dele Alli coming on, but not Bale. We're not seeing enough from Bale to put him on, you know, versus, you know, the team who are in first place, who are unbeaten in like 15 matches. You know, Dele Alli coming in, you know, a bit of better passing, bit of, you know, movement. He can hold the ball. Something, you know, Lucas can't do. So I think Lucas for Dele, and leave Lamela on, because Lamela can get you maybe, I don't know, an assist, or maybe get you sent off and loses the game. He'll definitely do one or the other, get sent off or get you an assist.
Mora I've always likened Mora to a Solskjaer type player that has always been better from the bench. Some players are just like that, aren't they? Impact substitutes.
Yeah. Well, the trouble is we can never ever forget him for that night in Ajax, can we? But you want to see it consistently from him. That's the issue with it.
Yeah, and he got a start. Who was it? He got a hat trick against. Played brilliantly. We won 4-0, I think. Huddersfield.
I was there, Chris. Remember?
I do. We had a good few drinks that day, didn't we, Melvyn?
Yeah. So there was a bunch of free drinks, and And Chris was telling me how you can't take. I didn't know this because I've only been to a handful of games in England, and he was telling me how you cannot take alcohol.
What you say? We are live, you know.
He's telling me you cannot take alcohol into the stadium. So I didn't know that because I was literally just gonna grab a bunch of them and walk straight back to my seat. And Chris was telling me you cannot take alcohol back into the stadium, which was funny.
That was a good day. Good day, that. That's why I really miss, not going into the stadiums. It is so different watching these games from home. I really don't like it, if I'm honest. I can't wait to be back.
Where's your seat, Chris? Are you in the West Stand, are you?
Yeah, I am, yeah. Kev writes, I'm fuming. Another comment, so frustrating for us all. Everyone's just so frustrated at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, something's got to happen in the second half. I think Melvyn's right. We've got to do something. I think he will make a change at half time. Unfortunately, I'm watching you guys on my phone, so I'd usually have a look at what Ali Gold's tweeted because he's usually a few minutes ahead of, and he'll know who's coming on and going off. But I don't think he's there actually at the game, is he? Because he said he was not covering the northern games.
Well, if you were Jose Mourinho right now, Craig, what changes would you make? Would you make any changes?
Yeah, I'd probably bring Ali on for more. I'll go along with that one, and then give it 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, and then bring Bale on for perhaps Lamela.
Vinicius, I think I would take someone a presence, someone to hold the ball, because we try to counter attack.
Really, I think you've got that in Kane. To be honest, I don't think he trusts Vinicius enough in big games. I personally don't think he could do any worse than some of them, though. But.
Yeah. Remember when he came on and he made the difference against West Bromwich Albion, I think it was, and we scored the last-minute header from Kane. Was that the game? Or he came on. He came on one of the games, and all of a sudden it created space for Kane, and Kane just headed one in the last minute. He don't do that often enough.
Yeah, I'd like to see Vinicius, get a couple of starts just so we can actually see what he's made of, because he hasn't really like Bale, but probably deserves it a bit more than Bale to have a bit of a run, doesn't he?
Kev William writes here, Chris, we've kept them at bay. A stupid penalty is a difference. Tosh writes here, what's new? We always give away stupid penalties.
Yeah, can't disagree with that.
Did it against Chelsea as well, gifted them the goal.
Yeah.
Melvyn,
this is an interesting one. Charlie William writes, do you think that we'll get Danny Ings in the summer?
I hope so. Would be great.
Would you rather someone like Danny Ings come in rather than sign the players like Carlos Vinicius? Or is that a silly question?
Yeah, definitely. Danny Ings is a better player. I think coming to Tottenham will just ignite his hunger. You know what I mean? I don't know, because Southampton is not the same level as going to Tottenham. Even if we're in the Champions League next season, which doesn't look like we will be, but he hasn't played much European football. And he's a proven goal scorer, and he offers you things that Kane doesn't. So I don't know if he can play as a winger or not, because imagine a front three of Kane, Son, and Danny Ings.
Oh, we've got a half-time guest coming in. We've got Rob coming in.
Hi, guys.
Hello?
You all right?
Hello, Rob. How you doing?
Okay. Hello.
Hiya.
Can you hear me? Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yes, we can hear you, Rob. Rob, what have you made of the first half?
Well, look, it's an error that's ended up being a penalty by Højbjerg. We could have obviously gone 1-0 up with the Kane shot at the bar. I just think we need to get Sonny on the ball more, and we need to show a little bit more strength in midfield. But Man City, they've got 15 matches without defeat. But it's half time. It's only 1-0. I think Hugo was unlucky with the penalty. You know, but yeah, it's 1-0, and the second half's all to play for. We got to take the game to them.
Do you think Jose will make any changes at half time, Rob?
I don't think he'll make changes straight away. Maybe he will give first 10 minutes. But I'd like to see some changes. Perhaps it's time for Gareth Bale to show what he's about, and perhaps Dele as well. So yeah, look, it's close. It's 1-0. It's Man City. They're top of the league. They scored a lot. They don't concede any. Or play for second half.
Rob, what have you made of the Gareth Bale situation?
Yeah, he's not the player he was 7 or 8 years ago, is he? He's just lost that yard of pace. Not quite sure what's happening there. Don't think we'll keep him when it comes to the end of the season.
Yeah.
What are you thinking? The same thing?
I just can't see him staying at the club for next season, Rob. I just don't think that we've used him enough, and it's just not the fairy tale that we all bought into. And I think that Jose Mourinho thought that he was getting a completely different player. I think it's just such a shame. But I'm a big fan of Dele Alli, as you know, and I want to see Dele Alli back to his best. And we've got Dele Alli and Gareth Bale on the bench. Whether they'll come on for the second half, who knows? But right now, I'm just wondering where our next points are coming from in the Premier League. I know we're only 4 points off the top 4 right now, but you lose today and then you get a dodgy result against West Ham next week. Then you're starting to look at our position and you're starting to look at teams behind us, and we're drifting down to mid-table.
Yeah.
See, Moussa Sissoko is warming up.
Oh, is he?
When you need somebody to come on and change the game for you, we're bringing on Sissoko by the look of it.
I don't know. I never understand Jose's tactics. I'm not his biggest fan, and know that, Chris.
Well, that's interesting because they've been walking through us in the midfield. So maybe he wants to, strengthen the midfield. Get a hold of the ball.
Rob, a question on screen now for you, if you don't mind, from Brandon. The impulse to put Dele or Bale on based on their past, not their present. Nothing I've seen that says that they will be any better. Harry Kane still looks a bit hurt.
Yeah, I just think we need to, go. Look, at the end of the day, we got nothing to lose, have we? We're not creating many chances in midfield. Maybe the Sissoko on Dombele combination will strengthen the midfield up, and we just need to be a little bit more creative in that last third. Sonny's been really quiet, so has Kane to a degree. So I don't see why not. You've got to give these people perhaps a chance.
Rob, on Sky Sports, they've just showed the average position on the pitch, and there's 2 players in the Manchester City half in the first 45 minutes, and 9 players of Manchester City in the Tottenham half. That just sums it up, really, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, they're going to have majority of the possession, aren't they? We're going to play the counter attack.
Who's gone off?
Oh, and Sissoko's coming on now for Moura.
Oh, Moura.
Yeah.
It's a good comment you put there on screen, because Dele Alli is not the same Dele Alli that we had. So I don't think it's as simple as putting him straight in. He needs game time, to build up that confidence again. 20 minutes, 30 minutes, building him gradually. Games that we're winning and not needing him to come in and perform straight away. So I agree with that.
Yeah.
4X Gold writes, "Oh, great. Sissoko coming on. Pop the champagne open." It's been a while since we've had champagne at the stadium, isn't it, Rob?
Oh, yeah. Well,
you're missing it.
Champagne in the fridge. Doing early Valentine's Day.
Chris, it could be worse. Winks could be coming on.
Well, he's your favourite player, isn't he?
He is.
Don, thank you for your message. Yes, doing very well, thank you. But we want Tottenham to get the 3 points today. Rob, are you staying with us for the whole second half, or are you going?
No, I just made a quick guest appearance. I'm going to go. Get me a beer. But listen,
No problem.
guys, let's hope for a win. Come on, you Spurs.
Lovely to talk to you, Rob. Speak to you soon.
Rob. Thanks, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Bye. Bye.
Sounds like a good idea there. To have a beer. Jesus. I don't know if my wife's watching this stream upstairs, but perhaps I can put an order in for beer rather than me shouting to her.
Tell her bring the beers, exactly.
Yeah, get me a gin or a beer or something. Bring the bottle. Leave the bottle.
Passing looks sharp already. Come on, let's get back into this.
There's about a 20-second delay from live stream to actually what happens on YouTube. So.
Oh, okay.
So your wife might be hearing it right about now.
Oh, she'll probably get it at the final whistle. I don't even know if she's watching the live stream. In case I embarrass her. But we seem to be a little bit further up the pitch, not with the ball at the moment, but I think they're obviously trying to get out a little bit by the look of it. The trouble is when you've got somebody like a Ben Davies whose first instinct is to go backwards.
Yeah.
It's not as easy as when Reguilon's playing.
Like I say, completely different players. You know what you're getting.
Yeah.
I think Ben Davies is a dependable defender, but he's just not attacking minded. He never has been, never will be.
No, that's right. Yeah, comment on the screen there. Yeah, absolutely. I think if we can get them to get
Lamela needs to get off.
Is he carded? Has he got a yellow card, Lamela? I don't think.
Put Dele in for Lamela. He keeps losing the ball in good attacking positions.
The 5 points. Nice of Eric Dyer to hand the penalty conceding duties to Pierre-Emile Højbjerg today.
Yeah,
I don't know whether to laugh or feel very frustrated. It's a little bit of both.
It's not funny right now. You just feel it'll be funny tomorrow.
Yeah.
If Tanganga plays well, I reckon he should hold his position, should keep his position.
There's so many changes though, Melvyn, isn't there? Every game now, there's so many changes. The back four constantly changes. As a goalkeeper, Hugo Lloris, you want to be playing with the same back four all the time, don't you? Get the confidence into the team of having the same players around you.
Shut the shot down. Shut the shot down. Shut the shot down.
What's wrong with Hugo lately as well?
Walking through the defence.
Oh, it's 2-0.
Oh. God.
They just walk all the way through, straight through Lloris as well. That's dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. Sterling must have walked past about 4 or 5 of our players, just walking past, just ripped past.
Højbjerg, Dyer, Sanchez.
Lloris has to do better.
Pass Dyer back, walk through.
Tell you what, Højbjerg's not had a particularly good game today. Again.
Hugo's got to say that, hasn't he?
Lloris has been letting us down lately, eh?
Do you know what I mean?
Like, straight at him.
Yeah, you should be doing better than that. Should be doing better than he did there.
That's poor. That's really poor.
We're not going to score. And they're going to score even more.
I'll tell you what, if we thought we needed one goal to get back into it, we'd be very lucky to get 2, I'll tell you. He's got to change it soon if we're going to get back into this and just change the approach.
Realistically, did you think we were going to win today?
No, and that's hence my prediction 2-1 at the start. I didn't think didn't think we would do, and I hate saying that, but you know, you try and be honest. You got to be honest with yourself.
Well, there's always the hope, Craig, isn't there? That's the problem.
Yeah, but it's usually the hope that kills you, isn't it?
But usually they,
does.
even though we lose, at least you see something. You see a shot on target. You see a bit of attacking play. You see a bit of magic. Just been nothing all game.
It's going to go for a goal kick. Yeah, Kane ain't had a sniff really, apart from that free kick, as he hasn't had much at all. Nor Sonny.
No, not at all.
I mean, that was disgusting. That Sterling run right across the middle of the box, level with a penalty spot. I mean, how can you let him run that far and get that little ball inside to Gundogan?
It's on the replay now, Craig. It's like certain players are just walking, certain players are just standing still. It is dreadful from a defensive point of view. That is dreadful, and from the goalkeeper as well, our captain Hugo Lloris. I love Lloris, but I tell you what, these last few games, some of these shots, you know, he's shaking his head there. That's poor, really, really poor.
Would you take Nick Pope if he was available? Is it Nick Pope?
Yeah. Yeah,
Do you know what? I think it's so difficult. Everyone says, "Oh, just replace the goalkeeper." He's our captain as well.
He is.
You know, you're replacing the captain as well, which I think is very, very difficult. And I think that if you're going to start thinking about replacing your goalkeeper, you've got to give the captaincy to someone else. And that's why I've been saying, you know, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg has been absolutely superb this season. You know, he seems like one of the real leaders on the pitch. Why don't you give him the captaincy? Start it off that way.
Yeah,
do you think it has something to do with him not signing a new contract? Because Hugo has what, one year left?
Yeah, I don't believe the links with Poch at PSG. I mean, apparently I can't remember the name of the keeper they've got there, but you know, he's essentially not going to drop him to bring Lloris in. Was the thinking. So I don't know how long Lloris has got left on his contract.
Guy right, Lloris is no captain.
He needs to put Vinicius in. Someone to hold the ball and lump it forward. It's the only way we're going to do anything.
I agree with what he says there, but is a captain as important as people make out? I mean, you know, Højbjerg should be a leader on the pitch there. I mean, you haven't got to wear an armband to be a leader, have you?
Tangang has done well there.
I always think an outfield player should be captain anyway. You know, that's my opinion. I just, you know, I used to play in goal at Sunday League, and to think, you know, if you're captain, I think that someone out on the pitch is far better of giving instructions and seeing things that are, you know, going right or wrong on the pitch. And I think that outfield player, you know, needs to be having the captain's armband. And I think that Pierre-Emile Højbjerg would be perfect. Even someone like Harry Kane, you know, what an influence he has in a changing room.
Yeah.
But Kane does that anyway. He doesn't need the armband.
No, you lead by example, I think, a lot of the time, especially Kane. You're either that type of player or you're not, you know. I could never, when I was playing, I could never shout and scream and think about my own game. A lot of people can do that, but some other players can't.
Mm.
It's too predictable what we've been doing. It's the same thing.
That's the problem.
It's so easy for teams to defend against us because we do the same thing.
Do you know, there was a big sort of Christian Eriksen type gap, what I'd call, where he used to drift into there, you know, and pick up the ball. The thing about Eriksen, he was always on the move, wasn't he? He covered the most yards, most miles of all the players. And sometimes I think we're lacking that sort of player. I'm not saying bring Eriksen back, but that sort of player, you know.
I would have taken him back in January.
I personally would have done, yes, I would have done. But we've never replaced him.
We're lacking that player.
Yeah.
We replaced him with Kane because Kane is the one dropping deep.
Yeah. Absolutely right, Melvyn, yeah.
We've replaced Eriksen with Kane, which is mad.
Which has been fantastic for Harry Kane's game. But you need that little bit more of creative spark in midfield. That is what we really are missing. I know Tanguy Ndombele has had a very different season this season to last, but we are still missing that huge spark in midfield.
You know who I think we've always, not always, but lately, especially, Lo Celso. Lo Celso was having a good season before he got his injury, and I think we really missed him.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah,
because he's a bit of a creative player. He can pick a pass. You know, he's strong. He's strong and aggressive like Lamela in the midfield, but he's quick as well, and he can score a goal.
Craig, what do you make of Drew's comment there? A lot of this blame is on Jose, but players need to play. It doesn't seem like a good fit to me.
Yeah, I don't think you could even blame Jose today for the lineup. To be honest with you, he's on the players, and you do begin to question: are this bunch of players good enough? You know, like you said, we've got
a lot of Premier League games left. You know what can he do?
Exactly, he can't do anything. You know, he's got to work with these players now, like he has done. You know, January obviously didn't do anything, but we were, like you said to me, we were top of the league November, beginning of December, weren't we? So you know, something was going right.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you what's changed. I mean, it's the same players, isn't it?
Well, I think Melvyn brought up a great point of us being predictable, because even like that game against Chelsea, before the game, Jamie Redknapp, actually it weren't Jamie Redknapp, it was Jermaine Jenas, was asked by Jake Humphries on BT Sport, you know, will Jose Mourinho change the style? Will he change the way that Tottenham play? And Jermaine Jenas sat there and said, no, Tottenham will do exactly what they've done and they will not change anything. And he was exactly right. Everything that Jermaine Jenas said that Tottenham would do, that's exactly what we did. And that was so predictable yet again.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I like listening to Jermaine Jenas because he's a Tottenham fan, isn't he? And he tries to be objective, but you can see a lot of the times he just says exactly what. Exactly what we're all thinking as Tottenham fans.
Look at the space in there. Oh,
come on, get up with him. Come on.
Son's been quiet. Nothing.
No, and that's the thing with Sonny. Oh, right, this is better. This is better.
Oh. Came with the ball now.
Put Vinicius in.
A shot on goal from Ndombele, but in the hands of Edison.
30 minutes. Put him in. Take Lamela off. Put him in. Drop, I don't know, Kane deeper. Do something different.
We're nearly an hour gone, and I think if he's going to change things, he's got to do it in the next 5 minutes if we want to get back into this.
Because we need to.
We do.
This is what I mean when I said...
Jesus, if there was fans in this stadium now, even worse.
This is what I mean when I said, if we do a low block, we need to commit to it. Not do a half-assed low block where we attack. We need to defend like we did at Chelsea away, where we literally just attacked. I think had one shot on target or two and did nothing all game, but we went there for the draw, even though Jose said that we didn't. Sometimes we defend a low block, but we try to attack. You either defend and you mean it, and this would be a boring 0-0, but you'll go away with a point. Not where we're trying to fight an uphill battle. We're not going to get anything out of this.
Melvyn, Anthony writes, how would you feel if you travelled to watch this game? Well, I'll tell you what, I remember last March was the last away game that I watched live. Of course, that allowed the fans in was Leipzig away, losing 3-0. And it felt pretty low then. But to travel up and down the country when Tottenham don't produce the goods, it is frustrating. It really is. How do you think the fans would feel, though, Craig, if fans were in the stadium now?
Well, this game or in general?
In general.
I think there'd be a lot of upset fans in the ground, to be honest with you, and I think they would make their feelings known. It's difficult to tell because obviously we're not players, but how that would manifest in the players' minds when they're watching the game to hear the fans, going mental and moaning about the stuff, because at the moment they've got, apart from social media, they've really got no judge of that, have they? But I think there'd be a lot of moaning going on and booing, definitely.
Guys, here, you guys talking about the match is more interesting than the match. And Bjorn also writes, "I'm watching the game on TV." Oh, here we go. I'm watching the game on TV, but the live watch along is more enjoyable.
Yeah, as I said beforehand, we're going to sing a sea shanty.
Funny.
So,
That's not funny.
you've got to laugh or you've got to cry, mate. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Well,
it's funny, isn't it? It's funny, isn't it, that at the moment, I said before, Chris, at the moment, we're pretty much, for most of us, Tottenham's your one highlight of the week, and I'll use the word highlight. I don't really mean highlight at the moment, but it's one thing you look forward to, isn't it? That's all people have got at the moment.
Yeah.
And,
What different could a Jose have done? Because do you blame any of this on him?
Not tonight.
Can he have done anything different that would have gotten a different result?
What, today,
No.
Melvyn?
Yeah, because when I saw the lineup, the first thing I thought, that's a strong lineup. That's probably the best lineup he could have chosen, based on current form, performances in the last couple of games, injuries. So, do you blame any of this on the manager?
Not today.
Because we're losing 2-0 and we haven't had one shot on target.
No, players need to get themselves up to it. I said it before. Players need to get themselves up for games like this.
And we've beaten Man City playing this tactic twice.
Yeah. It's just.
There's
I know
a lot of the players are very low on confidence, though, Melvyn, at the moment, aren't they? Even Hugo Lloris come out and said that the players are low on confidence. When Jose Mourinho is dropping the likes of Eric Dyer, I know he's back in the team, but he's been dropped recently. Dele Alli. You're talking about a lot of players who are low on confidence because of particular reasons. So it's about
Ali's coming on for Ndombele.
Ndombele, no. Why?
I just don't think Ndombele's has as much impact on the game as he'd normally have, perhaps. And you bring in Ali on. I'm not sure else you'd have brought off perhaps Lamela and moved them around a bit, but it'd be interesting to see what Dele can do here.
Head down, don't look very happy on Ndombele, does he?
No.
Did he get a knock?
Agree with what Ben's put on the screen there, missing Reggie, definitely.
He's my favorite player this season. My favorite player. Because he can produce a bit of magic that wins you the game.
I think his pace. I always go back to pace, but when we had Walker and Rose and in the days of Aaron Lennon and Gareth Bale flying, you can't mark pace. I've said that time and time again. You can't mark pace.
I know people don't like to keep going back about Pochettino days, but do you actually think that much has changed since Pochettino left to now? Has that much changed for you?
No.
No, for me, a lot has changed for me. A lot. We don't have the same spine that we used to have. You could go from the top of the team to the bottom. We had a spine.
No, I meant trained for the better.
Oh no, we've gone worse.
God,
what makes it the most difficult thing is that we went from being Champions League finalists to this. If we didn't get to the Champions League final, I don't think any of this would be as painful as it is now, because we were probably at the highest we could have gotten. That was we didn't kick on from then. We didn't, as a club, we didn't grow. We went backwards, and not second.
Wasn't that a bit weird though, Melvyn? Don't you think it was? That whole season, the last 6 months. If it wasn't for the Champions League run, I mean, I'm still not quite sure how we got to the Champions League final. When you look at the results and the games,
we got lucky.
Yeah, we
still got we still got the Champions League place though, Craig.
3-0. 3-0. Yeah, we did.
So easy.
Jesus Christ. Was that Edison put that through? Was that ball straight from the goalie?
Yeah. Route 1. So simple.
I have him in my fantasy team.
Who, Edison?
That's no positive, Melvyn.
3-0, Chris. What are you going to do?
What I tell you what, though, what a pass from Edison. What a ball. What a ball. I mean, we should have cut it out.
Sanchez. Was that Sanchez?
Sanchez. But what
Go to the floor. Pass Lloris.
He just brushed him off there. How can Gundogan, the size of him, just brush off Sanchez like that? It's too easy. He'd been having a reasonable game up. He's just falling over now. Look.
Oh, that's...
Jesus Christ Almighty!
It's shocking. It really is shocking. It's so poor. And again, Lloris probably should have saved that.
I know.
You're telling me that Alderweireld's worse than Sanchez. That Alderweireld shouldn't have been playing today.
Lloris got a foot to that as well. Every single one. Every single goal, Lloris probably should have saved it.
Realistically, next season, how many players from this squad would you keep, or would you say they keep their position in the team? Because we need, in my opinion, we need a new goalkeeper, at least.
It's a mess. It's a mess, Melvyn. It's a mess.
One central defender, if not two, because Toby is done. Eric Dyer has too many mistakes in him. I rate Eric Dyer, but at some point you have to say he does too many mistakes, which makes him a bad defender.
You rate Eric Dyer on doing what? What does he do?
In the beginning of the season, he was playing well. Even at the end of last season, he was playing well.
Yeah, but playing well compared to what he's played like previously, or playing well compared like to a decent centre half?
He was playing well compared to what we've got and what we have in our team. So
not a very high bar, is it?
Yeah, the bar wasn't set high.
At least Gundogan's got injured now. By the look of it, hopefully he'll go off.
There's only about 4 or 5 players in that team that are really, really world class or really good and consistently deliver. And we need, I don't know, I like Reguilon, I like Lloris, but Lloris, I think we need a new goalkeeper long term. We need defenders, and we need, I think, a central midfielder.
I think back in 2016-17, Chris, they were saying we were 2 players off winning the league, essentially, weren't they? I'm not sure what players people were talking about then, whether it be another defender or another creative midfielder. But we were a couple of players away from realistically winning the league, weren't we?
Look at the bench. Look at the bench we had that season. We had Wimmer, we had Jensen, Nkudu, Chadley. That bench, not you needed a goal, you needed an assist, you had an injury.
Yeah, but you've also got to think, Melvyn, that we didn't spend a penny for 518 days, yet Poch still took us to a Champions League final. Now, Bjorn writes here on screen, who would be a replacement for Sanchez. There's absolutely no point us even discussing names, because it's all on how much money the board are willing to spend on a decent centre half. Now, we knew at the start of the season that, although a lot of us were happy with the squad that Jose Mourinho had and the summer that we'd had, the only thing that was missing was a decent centre half, and we didn't go out and do that. Probably should have had a centre half when Pochettino was here as well. We know that we needed it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Roden was a bit of not a panic buy, but certainly just somebody to fill in case a couple of central defenders got injured.
I like Joe Roden.
I do, but I think he's one for the future. I don't think he's not the sort of player that comes in right now and makes a difference, is he? That's the thing. Whereas Skriniar probably would have done. You bring in a Skriniar, you would hope that his experience would have had a massive impact. Obviously not played in the Premier League, but
I think Bale going back to Madrid will free up some wages, and
he's coming on now. So
do you know what? When I look at Jose Mourinho, it's a really weird one, because Jose Mourinho coming in as Spurs boss, you think he's a trophy winner, a born winner, won every trophy in the land. But when you look at Jose Mourinho there, he looked confused. He didn't know what to do next.
Yeah, I know he feels. But his Bale's coming on now. So
it's a big task. Matthew writes here, maybe it's time for Joe Hart to be given a chance now.
No, Joe Hart's even worse.
Yeah, I'm not sure about. I think Joe Hart. You can't fault his passion and the things.
No,
I'd
rather have Hugo. I'd rather have Hugo than Joe Hart.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you know, I liked Gazzaniga, but he wasn't as good as Lloris, is he? And that's the thing. You know, I suppose it's rare in clubs where your backup keeper's not going to be as good as your first choice, is he? You know, so
where's your captain?
If we're replacing him, and your captain, if you're replacing Lloris, you've got to bring somebody in who's better than Lloris. I mean, it sounds simple, but that's a fact. At least Lamella's gone off now. Come on, Bale.
Tor writes, I like where Pochettino kept Eric Dyer on the bench or not in the squad. He's with me, Melvyn. He don't agree with you.
We'll see. I don't know. It's frustrating, though.
Gareth Bale on. He's got 20 minutes.
I think he needs to cut his hair. If he cut his hair to 2013 Bale, he'd be a lot better, honestly.
All joking aside, Craig, he needs to do something, doesn't he? He needs to deliver.
He does. I'd still like to see him on the left wing. I really would. I know he likes to cut in, but like I said to you before, Chris, how many times has he cut in and got a shot away? I don't think I've seen him do it once. In fact, he did it once at Wickham and he got the shot blocked, I think.
Yeah.
The problem with this...
How much excitement there was thinking the likes of Son, Kane and Bale up front, and we just haven't seen it, have we?
No, the problem with this squad is that, and we keep having it every game, is the players... We have too many players that have one dynamic to them. That you look at Kane and he can nearly do it all. He can pass, he can shoot. He doesn't have the pace, but he makes up for it by having all of these things. Son, he's fast, he can shoot, he can defend, he can dribble. You look at our midfield and Højbjerg can only pass and perhaps, you know, have a tackle here and there, but he doesn't offer you anything else going forward. Maybe dribble someone, and I don't know, it just seems Musa Sissoko and Ndombele doesn't do it often enough. There's too many players that offer you one dynamic to the game, and you need more than that. You need players who can attack and defend, and I just don't think we have enough that can do both. Ben Davies can't defend and can't attack either. And I think, like Reguilon can do both. He can offer you a good defensive shift, and he could pitch in with a goal or an assist.
Yeah.
It's good to see Aguero won't win up just when you're 3-0 down, isn't it?
Oh, exactly. That's all you need.
That was unlucky. At least we're trying to pass through them here.
We need to sell. That's the most important thing. Get rid of some of these players.
Do you think? I mean, this is going to sound crazy, but would you have had a fit Danny Rose in over Ben Davies while Reguilon's been injured?
Probably.
Never happened. No. He's had that fallout, and that's it. End of story. When a footballer, a Premier League footballer, does not even get issued a squad number at the start of the season, they're finished.
He's not been the same since his knee injury either. That happened over, I think, 2 years ago. He had a knee injury, and he's not quite been the same player since.
Yeah, he picked it up at Sunderland, didn't he? And he was out a lot longer than he thought he would be. I think he'd done his medial ligament.
Yeah. Yeah, never
you could never fault Danny Rose's passion for the club, could you? You know, that goal he scored against Arsenal back in the day. I mean,
do any of the kids excite you?
Well, from what I've seen of Dennis Sirkin, I think he's got a bright future. And then definitely Ollie Skip coming back. I think that will be a big boost.
I think Oliver Oliver Skip really excites me.
Yeah, I liked him when before he went on loan to Norwich, to be honest. Troy Parrott, I haven't seen enough of him, but apparently he's highly regarded. I don't know. I mean, I know he's up at Ipswich now, isn't he? I think didn't really get the best of him at Millwall. Harvey White, he looked half decent in the game. So I think it would be lovely to have a kind of 5 players come through like Manchester United did that time from the academy. I know it's very rare nowadays, but there's some good players down there. It was Dane Scarlett. He looked pretty lively when I the minutes I've seen him. So it's not all doom and gloom, but you can't be relying on kids to Graham Souness that line. You can't win anything with kids. I think it's certainly true. With
Alan Hansen.
Oh, was it Alan Hansen? Sorry, I knew it was Scottish.
Next season, I'll be excited for. I think Oliver Skip is ready to come in. Ryan Sessegnon, I think if he's not sent back on loan, I think he'll be ready to come in next season. Those are 2 homegrown players that.
Dyer, fucking hell. Sorry,
not even watching the game at this point.
I think Ryan Sessegnon's disappointed me a little bit, to be honest with you. I used to watch him at Fulham and think, "Oh, that's a kid. If we can get him down that left wing, he's almost a Bale replacement." Because we never really obviously replaced Gareth Bale. It was incredibly difficult to do, he never really got a run a game. No.
We say we need new signings, but these guys, if they can come in and offer something new, maybe we don't need that many players. If Oliver Skip can come in and play with Højbjerg in the middle, with maybe Ndombele or Dele Alli, and a diamond in the 3, and the amount of weight he's put on. Have you seen photos of Oliver Skip?
Yeah.
He's gained quite a bit of weight, and he looks like a proper midfielder as well. He's not afraid of a tackle.
But Harry Winks did that as well.
I think Oliver Skip will come in and Harry Winks will end up playing at Bournemouth or.
I think that's right. I think if Skip comes back, what does that and gets in the team above Winks, what does that say for Winks? I think he's got a decision to make in the summer. Harry Winks, regardless of the fact he's been at the club since he was 7 or 8.
Kevin rightly says the Divine boy, Alfie Divine, of course, looks an exceptional talent.
These guys are 16 though. Dane Scarlett and Alfie Divine are still 16, so they need time to develop their skill and dial it down before they can be really mentioned in the first team. It's good that he gave them their debut and stuff like that, and maybe in one of the cups. But to be playing these kids in the Premier League, I don't see it right now. Oliver Skip is playing. He played. I don't think he hasn't missed much games in the Championship, and he's played all season, and he's been given man of the match in a couple of them. So
Heung-min Son down at the moment.
Yeah, it doesn't look good there. I don't know if that was just a kick on the top of the foot or the ankle. I couldn't make out where it was.
The thing is, it looks bad, but we've already played Liverpool, Manchester City, Chelsea. Those are done. These fixtures, okay, last season we got a point out of this fixture, but those fixtures are done. Some of the hardest fixtures are over with. Yes, we still have to play, I think, Manchester United, Leicester.
Has Sissoko actually touched the ball yet? Well, he just lifted Heung-min Son up. He's done something.
He's done something, yeah. Just showing this Gundogan goal again. Yeah, Lloris will be disappointed with that. But this one, you'll see in a minute, Chris. This one.
It's the angle. You've got Emil Højbjerg, you've got Eric Dyer in front as well. You've got Hugo Lloris. You have to stop that.
The ball from Edison. I mean, no doubt that the correcting. You should be cutting that out. You should be cutting. Toby Alderweireld heads that away. I'm sorry. Don't know where Bale's playing now. It's it. Hit it, Gareth. Oh, done well there. At least he did something.
Good footwork, yeah, good footwork. Good shot in. Good save.
Perhaps that's where he should play him, you know, behind in that hole. I don't know.
That is exactly where we want to see Gareth Bale playing, and that is exactly what we want to see him doing.
I think he's done more in that minute than he's done all season in the Premier League. Look,
Yeah.
he goes around 3 players like they're not there. That was brilliant.
Absolutely brilliant, yeah.
More of that, please.
Goes past him. Good shot, good save.
The thing he's saying about re-signing Gareth Bale, he won't want to go back to Madrid. I've said before, he won't want to go back to Madrid. And then his options are limited if we turn around and say we're not going to keep him, because he'll want to stay at Spurs if he can. And, you know, on the current wage, you'd have to say he's not worth the money, which is sad to say that. But if he was to take a wage cut, if he was on, say, 100 grand a week, which is, to me and you, is a ridiculous sum of money, don't get me wrong, but that's almost easier to stomach, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then you'd perhaps see, is he here for the football, or is he here for a send-off? But
Tots,
you know,
9-4-3 writes, we don't look like beating anyone. Well, we have to. We have to start beating teams very soon, because, as I keep saying, we're going to drift down to be a mid-table team otherwise. And Jose surely is going to be under pressure.
We can't lose to West Ham.
I think the West Ham game's bigger than this one in many ways, big for pressure on Jose, to be honest. What a lovely ball that is from Bale. Oh, that's unlucky on Delhi.
He needs to find a system that works, because it's not.
I'm not sure what system they're playing at the moment.
Our next couple of Premier League games, West Ham and then Burnley. And, of course, Burnley won 3-0 at Crystal Palace today.
Yeah.
West Ham are looking in fine form as well.
Yeah, you can't take the West Ham game as a definite 3 points by any stretch, I tell you, because they're playing really well. And they're going to want to beat us. They always want to beat us.
They have better midfielders than we do.
In the Premier League.
Sorry?
West Ham.
Come on, you Spurs. See you in the Europa final. What do you reckon?
Alba hat-trick incoming. I'll leave that one to you, Chris. I want to reply to that.
I'm not going to comment.
You know what? People are going to probably laugh out loud now and say this is absolutely mental. But I've booked my hotel and flight for the Europa League final. Of course, before before we thought that all this COVID business would go on for all this time. But I've felt very confident that Jose Mourinho, and I said this right at the very start of the season, Jose Mourinho will get us into the League Cup final and the Europa League Cup final exactly the same as what he done at Manchester United.
It's because over two legs, Jose is a different manager. Because if he gets it wrong, he can recognize and change things. Over 2 legs, he's a very good manager. And even our team, I think he can set up the team over 2 legs. It's just, I don't know. Well, and we might get lucky with some of the games as well. Some of the teams are not of the highest quality.
If you're not beating Wolfsburg, I mean, then
don't even go there, Craig. We're winning that game. We are winning that game 100%. We're going through. We're going through. And do you know what? It's weird because you see performances in the league. When we go back to Liverpool, Brighton, Chelsea, these sorts of games. But however, when we come up in the cups, I feel confident that we're going to get the job done. Exactly like Melvyn said. Jose knows what he's doing in these cup competitions. I know we didn't need to play that many games to get to the League Cup final, but that Manchester City game, look at today's game. If we played Manchester City in a week or two's time in the cup final, which was originally scheduled for at the end of Feb, we'd have got battered. But let's hope that this has been turned around and we give them a real game in April.
Well, I'll tell you what, the last 5 minutes, since Bale and Elliott come on, actually, even though Bale's just lost the ball, we've looked a bit better. We've looked a little bit more attack. I mean, our City just dropping off now because they think they got the game won. I mean, it's 85 minutes gone now. But You could argue.
How do we set up for the League Cup final? How does this affect this performance? How does this affect, how we set up for that game?
I think it's so far off. I think it's so far off. I don't even think you can answer that question.
Because if we play like this, they're gonna run through us again. And Wembley, Wembley's a big pitch, and they certainly know how to pass the ball and play it. And De Bruyne will be back, and maybe Aguero will be back.
Yeah, see, that's a worry, isn't it? De Bruyne coming back. I mean, they're doing all this without Kevin De Bruyne.
No, I didn't mean to.
Yeah?
I didn't mean to bring up bad memories there.
I hope you have cancellation insurance, Chris. Love it, Anthony. I hope we'll be there.
Where is the Europa League final?
Poland.
Okay.
Poland, yeah.
And
I'm looking forward to it, Melvyn. I'm looking forward to it.
Did you book it alone?
There's a group of us going. Or should I say, I hope that there's a group of us going. No, we probably can't even travel, so it's probably another cup final that we're probably going to miss if we're there.
Yeah, that would be a killer, wouldn't it, for the people that can go and are lucky enough to be able to get tickets. Is the one time Tottenham get into a European final in God knows how long, you can't actually be in the stadium. Apart from the Champions League. Sorry, I blotted that from my mind. Sorry, scrub that. Yeah. It was, that would just be typical, wouldn't it? We go and win a final and no fans are there.
At some point, I think if we don't start winning in the league, Jose will put all his eggs in the Europa League competition.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Because it's 9 games, isn't it? You have to win 9 games.
Yeah.
And you win the cup.
Tosh writes, we're not winning the Carabao Cup.
I actually don't think it matters if we win it or not. Like, it won't affect the board's decision to sack him or not. It will only be financial.
I think it matters for the fans, though, doesn't it? And that's the main thing.
About that European spot, though, isn't it?
It makes a difference. It makes a difference to the fans if we win it. Like, we'll perceive Jose if he gets us a trophy. Does it make him a better manager than Pochettino in your eyes?
Oh, that's a question.
If he wins, if he gets it over the line on the day, and he gets us a Carabao Cup, does it make him a bigger manager or better manager than Pochettino?
Do you know, Melvyn? I'm not going to say yes or no, but you ask any fan in 50 years' time, how many trophies did Mauricio Pochettino win at Tottenham? 0. How many trophies did Jose Mourinho win at Tottenham? And then if he wins 1, even if it's a Carabao Cup, it's still a trophy. He still goes down as a success, doesn't it? It is what it is.
But
with a word squad.
They're walking through. Hugo, save one.
I'll ask you a question, Melvyn. Is Juan de Ramos a better manager than Mauricio Pochettino?
Exactly.
Well, that's the last clip we ever watched, was him lifting a trophy. He got it over the line.
But was he a better manager than Mauricio Pochettino? I'd say no.
No. But you cannot compare the two. The two were in different... They were so far off each other. Look at the players we had then, and look at the players Poch had in his team. I reckon if Jose had that team in 2016, we would have won the league.
Well, I suppose it's if buts and maybes, and it's. I think a lot of things conspired that season. That battle at the bridge was not the game that we lost the league. You know, we had some other results during that season where we should have won games and picked up points. That was just kind of the end of the road, wasn't it?
Well, Eddie's in your camp, Craig, about Harry Winks, Ben Davies, Hugo Lloris.
Yeah, I agree, Eddie.
We can't be sentimental about players anymore. I mean, I love Winks. I wish him all the best, but he's just not good enough.
Tori's absolutely right here, though. We need to start performing and quick. You know, we've got Europa League clash in the week against Wolfsburger, and then we've got West Ham United.
Yeah, it don't get any easier, does it? Well, mind you, like you say, Wolfsburger, if you're not beating Wolfsburger, you know, you've got to take a long, hard look at yourself. It'd be nice to nick a goal now, just for their confidence. I mean, we're not going to get anything from this game now, are we? But let's nick a goal.
We won't.
Oh, Christ.
What positives, though, Craig, do you take from this game?
Winks hasn't come on. That's the only positive I'll give you. There's not much, Chris, is there? Let's face it. There's not much. Even my cat's looking a bit fed up. The cat don't want to sit here and watch it anymore. I don't know.
There's so many holes in this team that I think Jose knows that this team, we cannot win the league with it. He said it, that we're a small pony in a big race. And I think he's exposing it to the board that we have holes in this team that we need to fill.
Do you know when he said that, though, Melvyn? A lot of Tottenham fans thought that he was playing it all down and thought that we had a real squad in going forward. You saw the amount of pundits, some ex-players, ex-legends of the club saying that we're going to win the title.
Yeah, I thought he was playing the media as well, and I thought, oh, he's only saying that for the media, and behind doors he's saying, oh, we can win the league, we can, but we'll never know. We'll never know if he really meant it or not. We'll never know.
I think he was playing it down. I think he was playing it down. But then again, Jose would know it's a long old season, and you know we'd have to do a hell of a lot more to even think about challenging for the title. I mean, oh, they're in here again. They're in our box. Come on, what? Tackle him. It's a final minute.
Walking through our defence again. The amount of walking through our defence again and again and again.
How can we go forward?
But
we have to win in the Europa League and get a result against West Ham.
Yeah, I think the Europa. I think Melvyn's right. I think he'll get to a point where he'll put all his eggs in the Europa League basket.
It'll be incredible if we manage to get to a European final again, playing like this.
It does make you think though what would happen. That's the end of the game. What does make you think what would it be like if we didn't get European spot next season? What would that mean for the club? You know, because it's possible. It's possible.
It's a requirement, though, Craig, and that's why they sacked Maurizio Pochettino at the time, because they didn't feel that we were going to get that top 4 spot. I know Jose eventually got us over that line and got that Europa League spot, but it's not what Tottenham want. It's not what the board want. So, do they make a decision before the end of the season? I don't know, because that top 4 spot and having the training ground facilities, as we keep saying, we've got some players like Harry Kane and Heung-min Son, you've got the stadium. There's so much to it. It's very, very important to get that Champions League spot. And if you're not going to get that, do they make a decision very quickly?
Yeah, who do you bring in? We said that before, haven't we? Who do you bring in to take the reins though for the rest of the season? If you was to sack Jose tomorrow, who comes in? Realistically, who comes in?
The problem, I think, is that the club didn't expect this whole COVID situation to be going on. If you look at, I don't know, I've seen a couple of articles online of how much revenue the club was going to generate through the stadium. It only had to pay about 25 million per year, and they had so many events lined up, with the NFL, with concerts and Guns N' Roses, Lady Gaga, and all of these things going on. The club was going to generate so much revenue that we started to see, Tottenham flex their spending power, employing Jose Mourinho, who's double Pochettino's salary. We spent 60 million on Ndombele, paying him as much as Harry Kane and Heung-min Son. The club was really going to flex its spending power with maybe now getting the naming rights, another 25 million per year. These things add up, and and you know, now missing out of the Champions League, the whole COVID situation, not having people in the stadium. There's like a 68 million pound loss in revenue, which, if you look at the numbers, the past seasons we've always made a profit, which, you know, fans always struggled with, you know, always telling the club to invest more, and you know, these things, it's going to hinder our spending power. So we cannot be spending, you said, to bring in Mbappe, you know, unless Jeff Bezos decides to buy Tottenham Hotspurs tomorrow. We're not going to buy Mbappe, and we're going to have to either bring in the youth or invest, you know, be very, very clever and technical in the market, and we're competing with everyone else. You know, we're all fighting for the same pool of players. You know, it'd be great if we got Skriniar, and we even looked at Ruben Diaz, who looked excellent at Manchester City. So, you know, it's just sometimes the club makes wrong decisions. You know, we could have gotten Bruno Fernandes in the summer Pochettino was here, and I think not tying down Christian Eriksen or not selling him at the right moment is what cost us not getting Bruno Fernandes. And he's been brilliant for Manchester United, and maybe Pochettino would still be here, but that's opening a whole can of worms if you go down that route. So I don't know. I think next season we won't be spending the amount of money that's needed to fix these problems, and the club can't afford to take another hit with Jose Mourinho's 15 million a year salary. So,
how does that work with the fair play and all that? Do either of you know, like, about somebody said previously about the actual owners putting their money in their hand in their pocket and giving the money to buy players, which obviously Abramovich has done, but Tottenham haven't done that. Is that right? It's usually generated by the club rather than the owner, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think the rule is something you can only spend something about like how much the club can generate.
60% of your revenue or something, isn't it? Yeah.
So if you generate a certain amount, you can spend that amount, but you cannot just pump money into the club.
Yeah.
Just want to read Mark's comment out on screen. That was a great idea, Chris. Hope you do it again. This is our first ever watch along video, so I thank you both for taking part. Just want to ask you one last question, you guys, before you go. Mark writes here, yet the players are not playing for Jose Mourinho. He's upset too many of them. They want him out. And there's lots of comments coming in as well about, you know, they want Jose out. They're not happy with Jose at all. Do you think that Jose Mourinho is happy with the performance today? That's what the question I wanted to ask both of you. And, you know, at the end of the game there, I saw Jose Mourinho going on the pitch, hugging the likes of Davinson Sanchez, shaking hands with Harry Kane, trying to give Eric Dyer a hug, didn't look too interested in giving one back. Has he lost the players? You know, has he upset the players too much?
I don't know. I mean, it's difficult, isn't it? Because we don't know. We're not inside that dressing room. Said before, he will have upset certain factions inside that dressing room with the way he's treated the players, some of the players, because, you know, there are a couple of close-knit groups there from what we're led to believe. So it will all come out in the wash, I'm sure. But I think Jose's position, the board will be asking questions about it. They've got to, because that's their job. Yeah, I honestly don't know, Chris. I haven't got an answer there for you. I mean, it's difficult to judge by how perhaps Dyer reacted at the end there, or Sonny, or whatever. You know, we just lost the football match. Just got our asses handed to us again. So it's difficult. It's difficult. I really don't know. I don't know. It'll be interesting to hear what he says after the game. He'll probably come out and try and put a positive spin on it. I can't imagine he's going to come out and say we were crap, because you don't hear many managers come out and say that. It might be a bit more refreshing if they did. But
do you think though, Craig, that he's happy with today's performance?
No. He shouldn't be, should he?
No.
To be honest, if he's asked that question, Jose, are you happy with the way your team played today? He should be turning around and saying, no, it was shit. You know, at the end of the day, he shouldn't be saying that performance is any good, because we were watching it. No, it was dire, and I don't mean Eric. You know, it's not good enough. It's just not good enough. If you're going to challenge for things, if we were playing City next week in that cup final, as you said, we would get royally beaten again. And that's the long old truth of it.
Melvyn, Brandon writes on screen here that Jose is not to blame for this. Who are these the players to decide not to play for him and want him out? He's only just got here, and we need a big evolution.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't blame Jose for these things. Listen, he can go. Jose, I don't know. I don't blame him. The players aren't there. The team, the squad isn't there. We have so many holes in this team. We cannot defend. And when you cannot defend, and there's always a mistake in us. How many times we've been let down by individual mistakes? Either it's Lloris, it's Eric Dyer, Toby, Sanchez, Rodon, Ben Davis. I'm mentioning all these players who've made mistakes this season that led to goals, and it's our entire back line. They've all made mistakes that's led to defeats. Last minute, we've conceded so many goals last minute that would have gotten us the 3 points earlier in the season. I remember at one point, I think I counted 11 games we were winning, and we lost it, you know, from the tips of our fingers for little mistakes. And either these things have to be eradicated with, you know, coaching and training, or they need to be eradicated with new signings, new players. And you cannot buy an entire back line because, you know, we're not Manchester City. We don't have oil money. You know, at North London, I don't think Daniel Levy has found oil money somewhere. Maybe he's drilling somewhere near the new stadium. But I don't know, until he finds his oil somewhere, we have to be sensible, and we have to either eradicate these mistakes from our lineup. Well, I don't blame Jose in these things, because I asked this to you guys, what differently could he do? You know, we got Kane injured during the Liverpool match. You know, we're unlucky this is where it all started. It started at Anfield when we lost. We were fighting for top spot not long ago, and we lost at Anfield, and that derailed our entire season. You know, and then I don't know, something just dropped. Either there was an argument or loss of confidence. But that match, we've not been the same since. And you keep losing, and we keep losing, and the confidence just goes.
Melvyn, of course, I want it to work out for our team, and of course, I want to see trophies at my club. You know, it's been very, very long. When Jose Mourinho come in, he was very, very complimentary about the Tottenham Hotspur squad, in particular the likes of Harry Kane, Dele Alli, Heung-min Son, etc. He's had a transfer window or two. You know, he's had a couple of transfer windows actually, January and the summer, and he's brought his own players in. You know what? And then he said at the start of this season how happy he was with this squad. So when people say about it's the players, surely he's got to give the players the motivation, hasn't he?
I don't know. I think sometimes he exposes the players. He puts them in situations and position where he puts them in a situation where give me something and do something, and they don't, and they let him down. And I hope, and I think the board sees it sometimes, like he did with Rodon, or maybe with Sanchez or Sissoko or Winks. He puts them in these situations where it's pressure, it's game on, you know, perform, give me something, and they don't. Game after game, all of them. You put only few of them really perform. You know, Son, Kane, and maybe Ndombele or Højbjerg, they really performed this season. But the rest, you know, you put them under pressure and they just crumble time after time. You know, the entire defense haven't really done anything this season. Nothing to merit. You know, Sanchez scored 2 against Everton, which was great, but I preferred if he didn't score anything and kept a clean sheet.
Yeah.
They're just showing the penalty incident there, and they showed how Gundogan ran off Højbjerg and he was struggling to get back, basically. I haven't got the sound up, so I can't hear what they're saying, but yeah, not good. Not a good day again.
Craig, do you want to take this next one? We brought Gareth Bale instead of a centre-back. The floor is quality and investment. Jose is honest, but he'll put his arm around them at plenty of time to get top 4. Brandon's feeling very confident about getting that top 4 place.
Well, yeah, and he's right. There is still time to get top 4. There is still time until it's mathematically uncertain. Then, yeah, there is still time. I personally think we should have bought. We did buy a centre back, by the way. We bought Roden, but it wasn't the centre back perhaps we all wanted. So, for me, if you're going to challenge and make statements, you should be going out and buying Skriniar instead of Roden, if that makes sense, or even as well as, and bring Gareth Bale in. Whether Gareth Bale's been handled correctly or what the situation is there, we can all speculate, but I don't think any of us really know. We all hoped it would be a lot better than it has been, but we needed 2 centre backs. Jan and Toby, like I said, a few years ago, you wouldn't have anybody else. And if you remember, when one of them was injured, we did panic a little bit, didn't we? All the fans would have been a bit, oh God, who do you bring in, essentially? Because Dyer dropped into that centre back position when one of them got injured, and it never looked quite the same. We were very lucky to have Toby and Jan in their prime, weren't we? It was never an issue, that area of the pitch for us while they were fit. Yeah.
I have a small problem with the board of Tottenham, because we don't operate like a big team. We don't operate like a big club. And I think during one of the videos, Chris, I told you, if we were a big club, I think they would have said, this is our plan for January. The league is very tight. We need a centre back. We can win this league this season. Let's buy one of the best central defender we can get our hands on and try to win the league. Even if we have to spend 60, 70 million, we can win the league. We can win the Europa League. We're still in the FA Cup back then. We don't operate like a big club. I'll give you an example. Look at AC Milan, who are first place in the league. They haven't been in the Champions League for a long, long time. They're struggling financially. They don't make the money we do, but they managed to bring in players. They brought in 3 or 4 players to win the league. They're sitting in top spots. They operate like a big club because they are a big club. They brought in, they acted. They saw an opportunity and they acted like a big club. If we were a big club and we had the mentality of a big club, we would have seen these problems and we would have fixed them. We would have bought in January, bought a defender, and changed something. You cannot change without investment sometimes, unless you trust in the youth, which Pochettino did, because we didn't invest, and that doesn't always work. We don't act like a big club.
Yeah. Well, of course, the next couple of games, Wolfsberger away, will now being played in Hungary and not Austria. And then, of course, West Ham United away in the Premier League. Now, final question for you guys. I know I said that a couple of minutes back, but all these comments keep coming in, and I feel guilty by not putting them on the screen. So thank you very much to everybody who's commenting on today's video. But score predictions for these games. Can Tottenham turn it around? Of course, it is expected and a requirement to be beating a team in Austria, who Tottenham have got so much more quality than them. But West Ham next weekend, how do you see that one going?
I'll go, if you want to score predictions, Chris, I'm going to go 2-0 midweek in Austria or Hungary. And I think we'll just edge it against West Ham 2-1. Don't ask me why I've gone for that, because you won't get an answer. I'm going to be confident because I've got to be after today. Because if it goes tits up midweek and certainly Saturday, then I don't know. The rest of the chats we have throughout the season are going to be even more depressing than what I feel today. So I think both games are must win, to be honest.
We need to see Bale in the Europa League game. He has to start. I think that's the last game that we're like, if you don't do something this game, we're giving up. The same, I've given up on Harry Winks now as well after the Everton match, and that's the game for Bale. you know, in the Europa League against Wolfsberger, or, you know, if you don't do nothing in this game, give us 90 minutes, or, you know, I've given up on Gareth Bale.
And you want to see him do what he can do, what we know he can do, or hope he can do. You want to see him take the game by the scruff of the neck, essentially, run at players, score a goal, you know, set up a goal, something. We need something, you're right, and he needs 90 minutes. And hopefully he'll get it, and hopefully we'll get the win in the week.
And Vinicius as well. Play Vinicius. Play him.
Yeah, I think he will. I think he will get a run out, and Bergwijn on the other wing, perhaps, and perhaps Ali, I don't know, behind Vinicius, but perhaps we're getting ahead of ourselves there.
He cannot change too many players, or, you know, if he changes too many players from our, you know, starting lineup, it just doesn't work. You know, one or two here and there, the team still plays. But when we change too many, and there's too many changes, you know, like we've seen, we struggle, and we have to always put Kane back in, put Son back in, put Ndombele back in. You know, if he plays Harry Wing, he won't play Harry Winks, for example, and Sissoko in the middle, or will lose the game.
Yeah.
Well, Craig and Melvyn, we could discuss Tottenham Hotspur all day, all weekend. Of course, the result today, Manchester City 3, Tottenham Hotspur 0. We remain 8th in the Premier League for now. We could drop down even further by the end of the weekend. Let's hope for a win against Wolfsberger in midweek, and then let's hope for a win against West Ham next weekend, because we certainly do need the points. Thank you very much for everyone's input today. There has been so many questions come in, so really appreciate your input. And of course, this was the first ever watch-along live stream, so it's a pleasure doing it with you guys. Thank you very much for all of your input. It's been absolutely brilliant. I'll see you on the next video. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Cheers, Chris.